Hey everyone, so we're back from Jamaica. Just got home a couple hours ago, unpacked, laundry, settled in, and before I go to sleep, I just had to do a quick video because this is something that kind of summed up a lot of my thinking during the trip. And it goes by the following: everything is relative. Just like in life, the same exists with bourbon and whiskey and other spirits. I feel everything is relative. And what I mean by that is, when I was at this resort in Jamaica, we were in an elevated section, but basically all sections had, as far as bourbons, your Jim Beam, your Jack Daniels, and your Evan Williams, which is something I haven't seen in a resort before. It's generally just Jim Beam and Jack. Those were your three bourbons, and in the in whatever the elevated section is, which wasn't all that much more, just paid to get some better spirits and better treatment and stuff like that. They had two elevated bourbons, and that is Knob Creek 9 and Maker's Mark, the regular Maker's Mark 90 proof. And what's interesting just about that is that, when I heard that, I'm like, in everyday life, certainly for people who know bourbons, Knob Creek 9 is good, but I don't think anybody would consider that an elevated, premium. Maybe that's a better way to say it. Premium, spirit, premium bourbon. And certainly the same thing with Maker's Mark. But there that is. And when you're there, it's kind of like, okay, so that's the elevated, that's the premium bourbon. Certainly I was going to have that in the bars that serve that. And, when I was having that, I kind of really got more into even just examining the tasting profile and the notes. And quite honestly, I always liked Knob Creek 9, but I started to really like it. And then I'm like, as soon as I get home, my taste buds got so, in tune with the Knob Creek 9 that I go back and it seemed really good. I'm going to go back now and have the 12 and just see how much better this is. So here we go. This is definitely better. But I can easily and very clearly see how this extra 3 years is better. But the point is that everything's relative. When you're there, that's the premium spirit, and it tasted better than ever to me. And at the same time, for the regular bourbons, whereas you're in everyday life, Jim Beam White, really not my favorite, and certainly not something I even have on my shelf. But when I was at dinner and it was in a restaurant that maybe didn't have the Knob Creek 9 or the Makers, I just ordered an old fashioned, and without saying it, I knew what spirit they were going to put in it. It wasn't much of a choice, and of course they're going to use the Jim Beam White. The moral of the story is it's not something that I would love to have, but I got to be honest with you, it didn't make a terrible old fashioned. It really didn't. It didn't make a terrible old fashioned. So the point is, everything is relative. When I'm home here, I have these better bourbons here. The stuff seems, oh wow, I would never either have the white or the Knob Creek 9's okay, but this is better. But when you're there and those are your choices, you know what? It's not. Each of them seem just a little bit better than they do here. So, I guess basically it all depends on your setting, and everything's relative. Where something may not seem great here, if you're in that setting, might be. And the point is, at the end of the day, none of them are terrible. Certainly some better than others. But I will tell you one thing. With all that said, I am very happy as far as bourbon is concerned to be in my home bar and have some of these much better bourbons than I was able to have the last week. Cheers.